So in this problem here, it's a real life application. Many of you are going to be going to college, and so here we have someone that's planning to go to college and they want to save up. So they plan to place some money into a CD that earns 5.3%, which is totally not going to happen these days. And if you see that, you should jump on it. If you have $1,200 now, how much will you have in 3 years? Ho ho! This is excellent. Let's check this out. So what I'm going to have here is $1,200. That's my original amount of money. And it's growing at 5.3%, so we're going to have 1 plus 0.053. That's my multiplier inside the parentheses. And we'll raise it to the third power because it's after 3 years. Now once I plug this all into my calculator, I can actually plug it in just like this. As long as I'm using my parentheses, that's important. Use your parentheses for the multiplier. I will have $1,401.09. Just for tossing some money into this fictitious CD that earns 5.3%. That's awesome. I'm going to go invest some money into a CD that earns 5.3% right now. In this second example, that totally applies to all of our lives, you own a really nice car, but you find out that it's depreciating at 18% each year. Now, if it's currently worth $23,000, because, I can totally afford that on my massive teacher budget, how much will it be worth in 3 years? I don't know, but guess what? We have a formula that can totally help us find this out. So let's set it up. $23,000 to start. How did I afford that? I have no idea. It's crazy, though. It's awesome. I'm rolling in the cash these days. Now, depreciating at 18% each year, so 1 minus 0.18. And we're going to raise that to the third power because it's after 3 years. And now after that, when we plug that all in our calculator, don't forget those parentheses. That's super important to make sure that you put your multiplier in the parentheses. It's only going to be worth $12,681.46. Make sure you get that 46 cents in there. That's important. Man, that car just dropped almost in half in its value in 3 years. That's crazy. I would suggest buying a beater that maintains somewhat of its value, maybe only be losing $1,000 or $2,000, and then sell that a little later on. At this last one, we have the population of the United States was 248,718,301 in 1990 and was projected to grow at a rate of about 8% per decade. We want to predict the population to the nearest 100,000 for the year 2025. Now notice it's not nearest 100,000ths with the THS. It's nearest 100,000. So we're talking about like whole numbers here. And we'll see that in the answer in just a second. So let's set it up. We're setting it up just like we've done before. So we have our 248,718,301 times our multiplier, which is going to be 1 plus, because it's growing, 0.08, all raised to now the exponent, it says it's growing by the decade, so every 10 years would be 8% per decade. So how many decades do we have here? From 1990 to 2025. Well, we have up to 2000 would be 1 decade, 2010 would be 2 decades, 2020 would be 3 decades, but 25, that's a half, so I'm thinking 3.5 decades. All right? Now, we're not doing 35 years. That's crazy. We're talking about decades here. It's growing at 8% per decade. All right, so let's plug that in our calculator and see what we get. So here's what my calculadora gives me. It's 325,604,866. Now remember, it said to the nearest 100,000, not 100,000th. This is so right here we have my hundreds place. Here I have my 100,000s place, not 100,000ths with the THS, but 100,000s. So what I have here is 325,600,000 would be rounding to the nearest 100,000. There's my final answer. Bada boom, bada bing, America.